Hello everyone and welcome back to another Universe Sandbox video, and today we're going to be making another solar system. I've seen a lot of requests to do this one and I have had it planned for quite a while, and that is making a solar system around the largest star. So that's Stephenson, however you want to say it. So yeah, the largest star currently known, which is bigger than UI Scuti, for anyone wondering. Yep, it did make UI Scuti not the biggest star anymore. This guy is now the new biggest star. So as we can see, comparing it to the solar system itself, it practically goes out to, or it's bigger than Saturn's orbit. So it is, it's pretty crazy, this thing. So yeah, we're going to be making a system around this bad boy today. So without further ado, let's get into this. So let's go into just a new simulation. Alrighty, so yeah, new simulation. Let's place our star down immediately. We want to go to custom. Let's go ahead and no, that's the wrong letter. Right, there we go. So we want not Westerland, we want Stephenson here. So largest star. Plot bang in the middle. Right, now I'm thinking a second star. So obviously this is a red hypergiant. I'm thinking, what about a red dwarf? So we have the largest and then we can sort of have the smallest. So what, we had the largest star and then add the smallest star as the other star. So EBLM JO55557AB here. This is a tiny red dwarf. This thing is just a tad bigger than Saturn. So we're going to place it a fair distance out. I mean, this star is pretty large. So how far are we going? 600 AU, a little closer. It used to say how much... can I turn the grid on? There used to be a way to see how far it was going. It's not doing it anymore. Grid. Okay, so what are we looking? So 66 AU. Yeah, 60 AU. I mean, that's roughly 3 times further than Neptune would be from our sun. Maybe a tad more around here, I'm thinking. Let's place it there. So there's our second star. Right, so we've got EBLM over here. So smallest star ever discovered. So that's in orbit of the largest star ever discovered as of filming this video. So tiny little star. I mean, if we get a comparison here, so 9.45 Earths. No, not kidding. If we go to kilometers. So there we go. It's about 60,000. So if we compare that to Saturn, for instance, so yeah, we just go to Saturn here. It's just a tiny bit bigger than Saturn. Saturn's about 59,000 in radius, and this is dead on 60. I mean, it's smaller than Jupiter. Jupiter is a bigger object than this. So we've got that in here, but I'm also thinking another star, and I want to go brown dwarf. So if I search up Gasser, I'm thinking one of these. So we could have blue. We used the green one last time. What about the pink or the brown? Remember how it actually looked like an actual brown dwarf. So if I go for... Where do we want to put the red guy? I don't want to interrupt him with our red dwarf. So I'm going to place the... Could have the brown dwarf... Now, I want the brown dwarf a little closer. I'm going to place it... I'll place it here. So somewhere there. So there's our brown dwarf. For now, I mean, this can always change. So here's our brown dwarf. So Gasser red. Here we go. So if we zoom in... There you go. There it is. So, yeah, glowing. It's slightly glowing. Temperature, 2,400. It's got the fusion sort of process going. And that's what we've got there. But obviously I can lower this down a bit, and that would lower our fusion a little bit. So we can have a little experiment with it to see how low we can get it. So if we do that, it just completely breaks it. So we have to obviously make sure we don't do that. So let's just go ahead and place a new one in. Like so. Do that. Click play, and then it will ignite for us. Looking good. So yeah, there we've got our brown dwarf in orbit of Stephenson, and then we've got our red dwarf in the distance somewhere, which I can't even spot because it's so small. Where is it? Trying to locate this. So it's all the way over there. So you can see, even from the brown dwarf, that red dwarf is very small. I mean, if we look at the brown dwarf itself, 6.2 Jupiters, I believe this brown dwarf is actually bigger than our red dwarf. Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is a pretty large brown dwarf. So it's only got 50 masses of Jupiter, though, but if we compare it to the other one. So let's go down here. I mean, I can make it a little smaller, but it'd be interesting to have the brown dwarf a little bigger. Well, I say a little bigger, a lot bigger than our red dwarf. So what we can do as well is we can lock that. We can manually lower it to make it more of a sort of realistic sort of size. So we have a brown dwarf just a tad smaller than our red dwarf, I'd say, around that size. So this thing practically is the size of Saturn now. So kilometers, 50 foot. Yes, so it's actually, yeah, literally Saturn sized. So there's Gasser red, 50 Jupiters. This guy has got 85 Jupiters. So we've got a nicer range of mass there. And obviously, they're in orbit of the biggest of all. So pretty crazy stuff indeed. So yeah, that'll be our sort of founding 3 objects. Our 3 stars. Well, I say stars. I mean, one of them is a brown dwarf. So we're going to call it... we'll just call it the Steph system for short. So let's just place that in there. Get it saved in case we have any issues. So looking good. Right. obviously your orbits and labels. I do want to just pick a color for these, because whenever you save simulations, their interface color just changes. So brown dwarf will have you, or we can actually edit the bands on it. That'd be quite cool. So what we have as our brown dwarf, I mean, just a brownish color, I'd say. I mean, something like that. A little too, I mean, I don't want to spend forever just trying to do these colors. So yeah, there's our brown dwarf. We need you to actually orbit the star as well. That would be useful. So there we go. And then red dwarf over here. Actually, what we could do with the red dwarf is give it a tad little eccentric. Just a little bit, so something like that. And then if we have it at its closest point to the star, which is roughly here. So that's on the opposite side of our brown dwarf at the moment. So looking good. I do want to lower our brown dwarf's inclined slightly, so I'm going to lower that a tad. So let's just see how we're doing. So try and get it in line with the other one. So somewhere around there, yeah. So I don't want it too off. So we've got that. And then I'll see our red dwarf over here. Right, so star color. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I can make it just a brighter red, I mean, if I want. Make it ultra red dwarf. So that's obviously the normal color. I mean, we could add a slight more reddish glow to it, I guess. I mean, the main star, we could paint the main star a certain color. I mean, what could we go for? I mean, I do want to keep it fairly visible. If I could turn over. I do quite like that shade, I have to say, but I mean, yeah, I don't want to make it too colourful, so I'm going to roll that for the time being. It's got like a slight yellow tint to it for Stephenson. Red dwarf is obviously over here, so that's still fairly as close as it is to normal anyway. So a main star, right, there we go. So they're almost identical. So Stephenson, I guess we'll give you a, actually, no, we've given you a colour change. We'll give you a slight, yeah, there we go. Right, so enough of me customising the darn colours. Let's actually get on to adding planets now. So if we put the zone on, we can see here pretty powerful area, so we may actually have to buff our red dwarf out if necessary, and the brown dwarf as well. Actually, I mean, if we go to here, I mean, we can probably double it up actually. So 2,000 years will close to about 4,900, so it does exit the red area, maybe a tad more. So it's on the green. It's in the green the entire time. Brown dwarf, I'll give you a slight buff. We'll put you to about 2,000 roughly years. So there we go. So we've got a bigger system, bigger area to work with. So our red dwarf goes into the almost goes into the blue section there. Right, good stuff. So actually, onto the stars, for real now. Onto the planets, I should say. What do we want to add first? Now, there was some objects recently. In our last object competition at the weekend, definitely check it out if you haven't. You guys made these sulfur gas dwarfs. I kind of want to add some of those in. I think that would be quite cool. And we've got a different range of them to use from the guys here. So, for instance, I could use Mr. Mistlock's one. This one looks like it's more of a hot world. We can use Astronomy Geeks further out as it's more of a cool-coloured one rather than being a hot one. We've got Gigaman's here, which is a mix of grey and orange. So we can have a real sort of mix of our sulfur gas dwarfs in here, which is pretty awesome. So I'll go with Mr. Mistlock's one. We'll place that 60 AU away to begin with. We can have objects closer if we want. So here we are. Right, so sulfur gas dwarf. So remember, it is a gas dwarf. It's not very large in size. So you can see here, it is tidally locked. So yeah, this object was tidally locked. Let's do it the way it was intended to be used. So let's put it like that. So right now, the face that is facing the star is the side that's glowing hot. Awesome stuff. We may have to buff its mass up just a little bit, so we can lock the radius. Mass we will have to buff up a bit, just so our, so it stops smoking up. So we've got 10.9 Earths. That is fine. Still a dwarf. I mean, if we look at Jupiter's 0.03, so 3% Jupiter. Obviously, it's already facing the star how we want it to. So let's just get it perfectly done there. And what we can do is make it a little interesting. We can have it orbital period. No, we want our, not anomaly, rotational period. Let's make it quite a small, so 3 days, 8-hour rotation. So yeah, Jupiter's roughly about 9-10 hours, isn't it, in reality? So this is faster than Jupiter rotates now. So we can slow down time. So it is a very fast rotator, but obviously that area is all rotating, facing the star anyway. So yeah, it is a cool object. So if you look behind, if we go to, for instance, for anyone who didn't see the competition studio, that's not how studio mode works, game. I don't know what you're planning there. So you can see it's actually starting to warm up as well. So flashlight. So you can look behind. See, it's colder on this side, all greyed out. But if we look around this side, the side that's facing the star, there you go. There's your ultra hot side. So that'll be our first object of the day here. So yeah, sulfur gas dwarf, one of many, because we're going to add more in. So there we go. Add our first. Just save it in. Get that put into the system. So looking good, and then we will give you a trail color. So we'll go with, there's all the bands, and then trail color. I guess we'll go with a sort of grey, maybe a greyish of orange. So what do we think of that? So there we go. So comp sulfur dwarf from Mr. Mistlock there is his object there. So, yeah, I think tightly locked. I think that fits in quite well there. So, moving on. I do want to add Gigamans. I'm thinking maybe we can have two sulfur gas dwarfs in quite close proximity. So we've got Mr. Mistos one, and then we'll put a Gigaman's sulfur dwarf a little. So I don't want them interacting with each other. So I have a fair distance away, somewhere there. So there's our next sulfur gas dwarf. So if we look here, I wonder how far apart these actually are. Put labels on so we can see where we are. So how far away is that? I wonder if they're actually visible from each other. So we No, you can't really spot it. I mean, if you look carefully, you may be able to see a black dot, but it is barely visible there. I guess we'll put trails on, actually. So, yeah, here is Gigaman's one. So this one is not tidily locked. It's got a nice mix of colour, grey and orange. So what we can do with you is just let you roll. So what is it? Smoking up. So 9.96 days. We'll go to 0.87 days. So go to 20 hours, a little faster. I say a little. Right, and we will obviously what we want to do as well, we'll lock that, buff this up to 10 Earth so it's all comfortable. Still smoking up, okay, I think you're a little bigger then. Stop doing that. What are we losing? Material. Let's just remove the water. No, still doing it. Okay, what's going on then? 10 point, little bigger. Okay, so this one wants 21 Earths to be sort of alright. So we'll leave it like that. That's fine. I mean, different sizes, radiuses, that is fine. So we got that. So how big is that compared to Mr. Mistos one? Well, we can see its trail beginning now. So this one is 2.96 Earths. This one is 2.85. So it's got more mass, but it is a smaller radius. So it's kind of like Neptune, yeah. It's larger mass than Uranus, for instance, but it's actually a smaller object in radius. But yeah, there we go. So sulfur gas dwarf. I do want to try and warm it up a little bit. So what is our albedo looking at? So if we lower this, get it a little warmer. So it's going to absorb a lot of light. So hopefully this will go to around 500 degrees. Okay, so it's the temperature it did that. So I'm guessing if I actually make you closer to the star. So now we'll be closer than Mr. Mislos ones. There we go. So we're actually closer now. So something like this. So how this should be getting a lot hotter. Yeah, so if I can get that sort of fire effect to stay there without it losing material. How large do we have to go? Okay, so 42 Earths. Okay, that's fine. If you want to stay like that, that is cool. But now we've got this sort of orange glow going on there. So what do you think of that? And what we can do as well, we can actually now we are close to the start. Yes, I do want to slow that rotation actually. So let's go with 6.9 days. So there we go. So yeah, a lot slower actually. Let's say a tad. There we go. So now we can see it. The grey clouds are starting to heat up orange in the daytime before they go to the nighttime and cool down again. So if we look at the grid, for instance, up here, we'll start to see it. This area facing the star is obviously going to warm up a lot more, and then the nighttime so will cool down. So we can come back to that and see how it's doing down the road. This one we will definitely give you a more orange sort of colour. So there we go. So sulfur gas dwarf, that was Gigaman's one. So looking good there, right? I'm very happy with these gas dwarfs so far. So it's cool. We can actually use them in a system. And actually, no, never mind. That was not Gigaman's. That was Core. So I misread it. I must have got it mixed up. So yeah, that was actually Core. So apologies to Core for messing it up and saying it was the wrong one. So yeah, there we go. Right, what else could we use here? So we've got enough Brandos. I do want to try and sneak one of the rocky planets in as well. So there we go. Right, what do you think? Korot 7b. I don't even know if this object's still functional. We can try sneaking it in as quite an object close, but I believe this object is broken. Oh, I say that, but it looks to be somewhat functional. I mean, it's got a tint to it. I mean, it's only at minus 200 degrees right now. So it's survived in some way or another from its original form. I mean, it doesn't look exactly the same as the image. It used to look like that, but it's, yeah, looking different now. I mean, if we go to our normal lighting view mode, so if we go to flashlight, that's how it looks. The starlight isn't really changing much, so it's already very hot and glowy. But there you go. So now it looks like that, and also it doesn't look too bad. It still looks all right. I mean, it looks hot. So if we put it to, for instance, 0 degrees, let's get this bad boy warmed up because I mean we're quite close to a big star there. So 79 years, 37. It's just further than Neptune from our sun. But it's just still going to chill here. So that's probably going to skyrocket. I mean, 500. I mean, and that it does cool down from 400 or 500. But yeah, that does look awesome. I mean, look how cool that looks. I mean, if we tidally lock this bad thing, that'd be cool. But yeah, we'll leave it to sit there for a while, see how it does. So, what's this albedo stats actually? So, quite high albedo. Yeah, we'll go a little lower. So let that sort itself out for a bit. Interface. I mean, we're going to go bright yellow for that. So, what else could we try? It looks like we can customize the surface a bit, which would be quite cool. So, what have we got? No, cut on that one, yeah. Right, Okay. Right. So yeah, I'll have that as a darker sort of crispy colour. High elevation. Oh my god, okay. No, that's too much. No, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I think it's fine the way it is. Yep, I'm happy with that. That does look crazy. So, Korot 7B, welcome to the party. So, there we are. Oh, what if we had a base on it? A city base. You can see it's in this object is definitely enhanced because those city lights are brighter than they normally be. So, we've got like a base colony on here. Obviously, you won't be able to walk outside. These would all be buildings like protecting you from the heat because, yeah, I won't particularly want to walk out on this object in the daytime now. So, let's try and get a nice pile of lights. What colour? It's got to be red or orange, surely. So, yeah, go a little more. Give me a nice chunk in the middle, please. Come on, I want a nice big chunk of lights. There we go. That one's fairly spread out, actually. Okay, so I'll roll with that. That's fine. So, what colour do we... I mean, oh, yeah. The red base colony on this world. What do you think of that? I'm liking it. Yeah, I'm going to leave that. So, we'll let that world sort itself out now. So... yeah, it's got a super hot colony on Korot there, so that's awesome. I'm really enjoying this so far. I do want to change your colour just a tad more. So yeah, like that. There we go. So Stephenson, we've got Korot here. I'll give Korot a slight incline as well, just make it a little more interesting. So there we go. So we have Korot there, looking good. Right now, moving on. I do want to sneak it. So I'm going to go back to some of my old objects here. So I think I've still got them. I think whereabouts is it? It should be. Got party or Pascal. I'm trying to sneak that in somewhere. Wasp. We could try one of the Wasp objects, some of the larger exoplanets there. Ooh, I don't think I've got Trantor anymore. I think I deleted it because it wasn't working. So yeah, I'm going to build a new Trantor. So if anyone remembers Trantor, it was a purple world I had. It was in my Pascal solar system. I'm going to try and build that. So I'm going to need an object with a purple atmosphere to be going for. Actually, what I can do is I can use Pascal from the previous video and tune it to what I want it to be. So I sort of terraform it to a different sort of setup. So could have it orbiting the red dwarf or brown dwarf again, or do we have it orbiting the main star? Red dwarf or main star? What do we think? I kind of want to do the red dwarf. So it's a little further, yeah, so further out. So it's away from the crazy hot area. I mean, it's still fairly in the area there. So right, I need to get to you at a reasonable distance, so we're going to put you... I'll put you in the green. There we go, so that's all right. So there's Pascal from last video. We can see it's already turned to a black colour because of the glitch in the game currently. Right, so we'll just put you as green for the time being. Right, so what I want to do here is we're going to sort of detune it or tune it to a different setup. So, first of all, ocean colours. They need to be purple. So we are going to go immediately to a more purple colour. High elevation, I want you on red. I want this colour. This one here, I want it to be purple, sort of more of a purpley surface. So, sort of dark purple surface, and then yeah, here we go. So dark purple once more. We can already see it's changing. Atmosphere needs to be a pale purple. That's cloud colour, not atmosphere. What am I doing? Oh, that was low elevation. No, I didn't want to do that. Right, so this needs to be a pale shade of purple. So something like this. That is rotating a little too fast for my liking. Where's our parent star? So that's EBOM. Okay, and then we've got the main star over there. Okay, cool. So how are we looking? I do want to give it a different surface as well to reset the surface texture. See what we get. And I will also go on flashlight for the time being. Well, not because studio work. Studio's broken. Directional and studio are broken. Right. So we'll turn off grid as well. So this is what I am working with. Right, back to it. City lights, we want those as well. So where are they? Lights, they are already enabled. Illuminate always. I didn't even... Oh, no, they are on there, aren't they? Because it was already built on the previous world. Right. So low elevation, that needs to be a dark purple. The ocean colours are way too... yes, I want a lighter sort of purple shade for the oceans, like a lavender sort of purple. High elevation, yeah... Ooh, I do quite like the white. But I do need a red area somewhere, so... Okay, that's looking better. And then... Yes, okay. And then clouds I want on red. Not bad, okay, not bad. Liquid water interface. I mean, that's going to be purple as well now, isn't it? So, purple. A little bit low elevation. I do want to keep trying to surface texture over again. So our oceans, you can see them are there. Right, so yeah, I do want to keep resetting it until I get a texture that I am happy with. So... I'm quite liking this one. So if we look underneath the clouds as well. So absolutely class. That's what it looks like underneath at the moment. So purple oceans, purple surface. Obviously, I want to go back to realistic lighting now. So I can see my good old lights. Where are my lights at? Come on, city lights. I want you on. Yeah, custom. Yes. City lights are custom. Open the menu. No, yeah, city light color. Well, where are my lights at? Come on. They need to be red. No? Lights? Where are you at, lights? Come on. Want to open the menu. Yes, okay, always. If hatchable, always. Come on. Well, where are they? They are switched on. Aha, there you go. So they are there. They're just being a real pain. So then maybe that is due to having multiple stars around. So actually what we can do, if it's going to mess around like that, I am going to put you around the main star in that case. So let's orbit. Yep, select you, please. Edit. I would like to edit. No, there we go. Yep. Right. Yeah, this new version of the game, this new interface, still not a fan, I have to say personally. I'll have it closer than our red dwarf. So if we go back to zones, we'll put you. Yeah, we'll put you roughly there. So let's go ahead and auto orbit. I don't want you orbiting the star. That's not. No, you're not meant to do that. No, over here. Move away from the red dwarf. There you go. Right, so that's kind of in line with our brown dwarf. So yeah, a tad closer. Right, so that won't have any interactions with the brown dwarf, I don't think. And actually, the brown dwarf, we can just give you a slight push, get you a little further out from our Pascal here. So there we go. Right. And now I do want to just put you a tad higher. So right, so you're on orbit, the main star now. No more interactions with the other star. Right, so now you can behave. City lights. Where are the city lights on here? Come on. Can just see them barely. That's not really what I'm after. Well, if I remove at the oceans, maybe I put too much oceans. So let's just see what it is without the oceans. Right, so interface. No, leave the interface alone. City lights. Yes, we want down here. Not getting many lights. That is a weird one. So you actually, what I do is not a fan of that. No, I'm gonna go for fresh object. For some reason it didn't work building off that one. So let's just go for fresh one here. Right, and then just delete this. Right, and we'll just begin from scratch again. So let's go down to you. Right, how are we doing? So I want you bigger for a start. So go over, about the size of a super Earth. Yep, there you go. Need to give it its name, Trantor. Right, slow it down. Right, first of all, we need to obviously colonize it. So we need to get it to a good setup. So where are we? Surface. We would like an atmosphere, please. Thank you. So 1 ATM, that is fine. Temperature. How hot do you go? 10 degrees. I don't want you getting any hotter than 20. So if it just sits at 10, that's fine. As long as it warms up from 0, that is also fine. Surface, infrared, we can give you a turn up. Albedo, where's albedo? Infrared. Albedo? No? Where's the albedo? It should be here, shouldn't it? Ah, there we go. So albedo is already, quite low, so it's not reflecting much light. So that is still warming up. I'll give you maybe, we get a little closer to the star then if it's going to struggle to warm up. So let's just move it a tad closer. That should hopefully give it what it needs to warm up. We're traveling a couple of minutes here, so let's actually let it run for a bit. Right, now we need to add the oceans. Next step. So let's get the oceans exactly how we want them. So let's get some water on here. That is not what I want when I say oceans. What's all this frozen nonsense? Let's get that melted. Really? Where's it? Surface, isn't it? We want to melt. Yeah, melt button doesn't work. It does not work. Freeze all. For the freeze all button, gets rid of it. Melt all just freezes it like this. He's very annoying sometimes, the water in this game. Probably, see, what is going on? There you go. Okay, right. So let's obviously slow it down. Right, now let's get our surface to show up. So, come on. No, don't freeze, you silly thing. No, don't do that. That's not what we want. That's not what we're after at all. Right, so let's let that just sort itself out. I do want to change the surface texture. Okay, I'll roll with something like that just for the time being. Mass is quite low as well. Why is the mass changed? I had you at a lot bigger than that, so let's go to 1 Earth again. And then, yeah, I don't know why the rate... Yeah, we want it bigger than that. So let's just go 1.1 Earths, radius about 1. Yeah, I want it around that. Okay, that's fine. So back to our surface now. So how are we doing for temperature? So 10 degrees. Can we hold 10 degrees? I need to know if it holds 10 degrees. Come on, speed up. Because it is increasing. Okay, cool. So that's fine. Now what we can do is we can just hide the darn snow because the snow is nothing but trouble in this game. So let's do that. Right, and now we can see quite a nice setup here. We've got some nice land, some nice oceans. It's sorted itself out. Now we can get on to the good stuff. So high elevation. I want you... So how does it... So yeah, too much on the red. I want you as a light purple, please. There we go. Low elevation. Red for the time being. Middle elevation, I want you as a shade of purple as well, sort of darker, sort of violety shade. So that's what we've got now. And now onto the liquid water. I want you as a very bright sort of lavender purple. So I'm thinking something like this. That red, I'm just not a fan. That needs to go. That really does need to go. Maybe a whiter area, yeah, something like that. Right, and then interface, yep, that needs to be purple. Right, let's close the menu and reopen it so I can access the cloud and atmosphere, because I don't think it was there unless I am blind. So, atmosphere, no, it is there. Okay, so right. So, do that. Tad purple colour, please. There we go. And let's just go to, I do want to check how it looks on studio. No, I forgot studio doesn't work. Flashlight. You can't really see the atmosphere there, but that's just a full look of the world itself. So, back to realistic mode. So, you can see it's got, yeah, nice light purple atmosphere going on there. And then, yeah, we will also have our city lights that need adding as well. So, where are we? So, interface with liquid water as well. Am I happy with that? That is way too purple. So, just, yeah, a lavender purple. Nothing too bad there. It is quite similar to the surface colour, though. So, I do want to see if we can... Oh, I am liking that really dark shade. How does so low elevation as well. Ooh, okay, yeah, yes, I'm liking that. And high elevation, a lighter sort of pink. There you go. Right, now, onto the clouds. I want red. Red clouds, looking good. I want the oceans we have got enough of already, so yeah, I'm not going to touch them anymore. No more of that nonsense. Right, and then the last thing, yep, city lights. So, city lights enabled, thank you. Where are they? Illuminate always. Yes, they are there. You can see them. They're very dim for some reason, so I don't know why it's doing that. Let's get them brightened up. I want them as red. Yeah, let's see what is going on with the city lights today. I don't know why they are so dim. It is peculiar, isn't it? Why are they doing that? I wonder. They were working fine on the world earlier, so I don't know why they're doing that. We've got it off it as always, light map. Oh, they work if it's Earth. You know what? We could, for the time being, just because the Earth one works. I mean, yeah, why is it not working? That is I'm clicking it. Hardly, they barely show up. So Earth. Yeah, why not? And then also we can just flood it a bit so it doesn't look exactly like the Earth, I guess. But yeah, there you go. And I guess we can maybe rotate it as well on a weird angle. Nah, it does look a little silly, doesn't it? I'll leave it like that. Have it on a slight tilt itself. But yeah, there you go. See, it's not really fully recognisable as Earth, but yeah, they actually show up now. So there you go. So that'll be my attempt at that for enough time. But yeah, I've spent a lot of time on this. So yeah, we are going to save. There we go. So yeah, there it is. Looking good. So yeah, I probably will come back to that at some point. But yeah, I am going to leave it the way it is for now. So snow on, that's what it looks like at the moment. That's what it actually looks like because the snow is just a load of nonsense in this game. So yeah, that's just going to stay there. I mean, we can buff it up a bit. The snow is very pesky. So yeah, we're just going to leave that switched off for the time being. So there we go. So there's a Trantor at the moment. So done. Good, looking good. Right, so now zooming out, its orbit is all over the shop. So we need to also do that. So that object will now sort itself out, I hope. So we'll just let that do its thing. So that will just, yeah, there we go. So that's happy there. Right, so now back onto the world. So that's our lineup so far. We've got 2 gas giants, we've got Korot, and then we've got Trantor. So we have, yeah, four objects so far, and then our 3 stars. So moving on. Right, I do want to go back to our red dwarf now, as I would like to add our sulfur gas dwarf here from Astronomy Geek. I would like to add the sulfur gas dwarf around EBLM. So I'm going to put it at quite a far distance. I don't want it being controlled by the other star, though. So how far away can we actually go? Okay, so we can, yeah, so I'll have it about, I mean, red dwarfs are usually quite close. So I mean, go 0.1 AU, I guess. Does that hold on? I don't want it doing any weird stuff. So sulfur gas dwarf, 7.87 Earths. Actually, I have no problem around an 85 Jupiter object. So there we go. So that's in orbit of EBLM now. Yeah, and there you go. Nice sulfur gas dwarf. Simple as that. So good stuff already built for us. And yeah, thank you to everyone who submitted in that competition, because now we're actually getting to use the objects in an actual system. So Sulfur Gas Dwarf, there's our Red Dwarf parent, and then our main star all the way over there. Looking good. So there we are. Right, now EBLM, I mean, we can probably sneak a Rocky in here as well. So what should we try? We've got enough gas dwarfs for today, so what could we try next? So we've got the Party Earth. Could try the Party Earth. What else we got? What even is this? 5? What about one of these old objects? These were quite fun. Let's see if they still function, because I know the original one doesn't actually work. So does this work? What's going on here? Yeah, it does. It seems to be working. I'm not sure if it's glitched like it used to be, but it still appears in quite a cool... I believe this object's tinted. So, yeah, it is tinted. It's got a yellow tint on it, so it gets like a unique sort of shade of yellow, which is looking good. So that's our object at the moment. So, appearance. So that's what it looks like underneath. Is that an ocean? No, that's an ocean, though, when I click that. So we can see it's a little buggy. There's an ocean. But it's quite a weird sort of... This can be quite a sort of a desert-like world. Atmosphere. Is the atmosphere even on it? It has an atmosphere, doesn't it? Yeah, 1 ATM. Yeah, okay, so it has an atmosphere. Rotational period will have as 1 day, so I think quite similar to Earth. Or very similar. It's practically the same, so looking good. But yeah, this is going to remain a desert. Ah, surface very realistic. Where's the actual area I can customize its surface? Is it just too... Is this object just too old to do that, or is it surface there realistic? Yeah, there should be an area for me to, you know, customize the surface color. So I don't know what's going on there, but I guess it's because it's an old model object, so a little glitchy. City lights, how are we looking on here? Always. Oh, so they work on you fine. That's weird. Earth. The other lights are a little weird as well. I mean, if we just remove all the water completely, it turns it into a gas giant, apparently. So that's just completely broken it and now made it even more weird. What is going on here? I mean, that is... Yeah, these objects are very strange, but I don't know how adding removing water suddenly does that. So let's do that. Let's try that again. So if I just remove all the water, please. There's no gas. Just remove all the gas, remove all the water. Okay, there you go. Right. So let's see how our city lights look without any water interrupting. So on, always. So there you go. So you can see South America, this object's flipped upside down. That is peculiar. So yeah, city lights seem a little weird at the moment. I don't know why they're doing that. I know actually, no, never mind. They're working on this one. I don't know why they weren't working on Trantor then. So we get a nice sort of chunk of those going on it. And I guess we can have them as a brightest colour they go. And it is this object is tilted, isn't it? So let's actually pull it up the correct sort of way. So I guess we'll pull it up like that, actually. There you go. So it's got, yeah, a nice set of lights going. Looking good. And now, yeah, we can add back the oceans. It looks like there's actually an Earth texture. There's an Earth texture on it. I thought I saw it. So it's South America. Yeah, there actually is an Earth texture on this thing. Okay, so let's actually add the oceans back now. And see where they sort of appear. Okay, right. Ah, there's a little too much. Is it either all of it or nothing then? Well, that looks a bit... Either way, still quite an interesting sort of setup this world has, so... Still clicking. Are we getting any water appear anywhere? I see it slowly flooding. Yeah, it does seem to want to do that, so... It's either yes or no, basically. So we can have it as an all-ocean world or an all just land world, so... Right, how are we looking? Liquid water colour. We could change that cloud colour to really white. Atmosphere. Any colour we really want, I guess, but it's got to have the... Oh, red does look good. But it's got to also be mixing with that yellow tint. That was interface. No, cloud colour. Yep, that atmosphere. So, any... Oh, the green looks really crazy as well. Red looks insane. Yellow's where it originally was. It's yeah, very sort of desert-like world, this. So, again, it's got that earth texture underneath it. So if we actually look underneath all of this, so that's what it actually looks like. Yes, yeah, so it's an old world. The city lights are all over the place. So it's like a future Earth that's completely ruined. All the oceans are gone. And this is the new sort of civilization, I guess, going on. Actually, we can flip it upside down like it was intended to be as well, just to make it a little more interesting. So there we go. Let's have something like that. There we go. Looking good. And what we could do is we could tiny lock it as well, surface layer. So that's why, because it has an earth texture, that's why it wasn't letting us customize it. So that's at least we know that. But yeah, there you go. So I'm going to roll with that. So it's a pretty weird world going on here. There it is. So yeah, other than that, I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. So I mean, I guess we can reset it to 0 degrees, see how it does. But yeah, I don't know. Anything else that we really need to add to that, to be honest. So there we go. It's got a weird ice. So we can just remove that. So it's got, yeah, weird ice layer going on it. There's not even any ice on it. We haven't got added water as far as I know here. Oh no, we do. Let's just get rid of that nonsense then. Right, so what even is this added around there? So we've got two objects around our red dwarf. We haven't got any around the brown dwarf yet, and then we have 3 around the parent star itself. Or 4 around the parent star, I should say. So we'll also quickly give that a quick save. That's a cool picture. Let's there we go, refresh it. There we go. So we'll call that the Steph system. And yeah, that will be where we finish off for part 1 of this series, guys. So if you've got any more ideas for objects we could add in here, let me know down below in the comments. I'm interested to see what ideas you have for this system around the largest star ever discovered here. So Stephenson 218 or Stephenson, however you want to say it. So yeah, there we are. So yeah, any suggestions, any feedback, any things we can just add, let us know down below in the comments, and yeah, I can get that done for the next episode. And also, hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video. If you did, let's hit that like button. Let's see if we can go for 50 likes on today's video, guys. Subscribe for more as well. Help us on the journey to 19,000 subscribers. I mean, that is crazy. So a massive thank you for the subscribers again. I mean, that is awesome. Yeah, massive thanks to everyone who comes back every video as well. And yeah, like I said, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. And yeah, with that all said and done, I'm going to stop babbling on now. So make sure you guys all have a great day. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.